Oh my god. Hi, hello, good morning. So as you have seen by the title, we are going to be making a beautiful pleated skirt. For this, you can use any form of fabric you like. I am going to be using my duvet cover. So let's go. So I have had this bedsheet for literally like 7 years. I don't really use it anymore, but I didn't want to throw it away because it's a hella cute fabric. It's a hella cute fabric. Now this is a lot of fabric, so I'll probably do a part 2 to this, like a top or a dress or something. But for now, we're making a skirt. So you're gonna take your measure and you're gonna make 2 measurements. First is your waist measurement, which for me is 30 inches. And you also want to take a measurement of how long you want your skirt to be. It is about 18 inches. Now with your waist measurement, you're going to multiply it. Now what you multiply it by will depend on how narrow or wide you want your pleats to be. So if you want wide pleats, you would probably multiply about 5 times. However, if you want narrow pleats, you would multiply by about 3. I want something right in between, so I'm going to multiply 4 times. So it's going to be 30 inches times 4, which is 120. That's a lot of inches. Am I doing this? Hold up. That doesn't seem... Wait. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna do 4. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to 3 because now that I think about it, 4 might be a bit too wide for me. So you're gonna do your waist measurement times 3. I don't think my fabric is long enough for 90 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out 2 pieces, which are about 45 inches each, or however long my fabric is, plus the remainder of the length that I need. I really hope I'm not making this too confusing. So by now you should have your waist measurement, the length of your skirt, the amount of fabric you need, and then to that amount of fabric you need to cut out, you add on about 2 inches for seam allowance. Now I always seem to mess up something with my cutting out, so I'm gonna add on 4 inches instead. I feel like this is like a carpet, like for a wedding. And now, firstly we're gonna hem everything. So I'm not really gonna worry about hemming the top part, but I am gonna hem the bottom part. I'm gonna do a double hem, so you fold it in once and twice, sew it down, and then after that we're gonna move on to the pleats. We're gonna now mark out our pleat. So I'm gonna do 2-inch pleats, and I'm just gonna mark it all the way across the top. Now folding these over, what you are gonna do, you're gonna want to leave some space for seam allowance on the edge. So I'm just gonna leave this pleat as my seam allowance. And then what you're gonna do is you wanna label each marking as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What you're gonna do is take pleat number 1, fold it over 2, and connect it onto 3. You take pleat 1, fold it over 2, bring it onto 3. Now start looking something like this. And you carry this on all the way to the end, making sure to pin these down as you go along. Now let me just quickly check if this is my waist length. Okay, this is my perfect waist length. Okay, good. Now you're gonna want to take an iron and flatten all of this out. And then after you iron it, we're gonna sew down these pleats. So we're not gonna sew down all the way, but I'm gonna sew mine down probably around 6 inches. However, how far down you sew it is completely up to you. Looking very promising. Okay. So this is looking really good so far. So the last 2 steps, add the zipper and add on the waistband. I think I'll start with the waistband. Similar thing applies. So for the waistband, I'm going to take the remaining fabric and I'm going to cut out a piece that is the length of my waist by whatever width I want. So I think I'm going to make the width probably about 3 inches. Wait, let me probably measure. Yeah, I'll have a 3-inch waistband. So we're gonna have to double that side measurement with the addition of seam allowance. So my waist is 30 inches. I'm gonna cut out a 31-inch piece of fabric, which will include the seam allowance, by 7 inches, which is double the width of my waistband, plus an inch for seam allowance. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to hem all of these edges and then we're going to attach the zipper before folding this over, just because it will give it a much cleaner finish. Okay, now the final few steps, adding on the zipper. I don't have a zipper that's quite the color match, so this will have to do. So what we're gonna do is, firstly you wanna try it on to see if the skirt fits. I found that this was slightly too tight. I had to undo one pleat just here. And then with that, I'm gonna attach one side of the waistband to the skirt. My waistband is slightly shorter than the edges of my skirt. That's fine, these are gonna be folded over anyway. Also make sure your pleats are all flat, just like that. You're gonna overlap the waistband slightly over the skirt, but just put it over for now, just so you know where to start the zipper. So that's how far my zipper goes. So now I'm just gonna mark it on. And then once you mark that, you're gonna fold over the fabric. From the point that you mark downwards, you're just gonna do a single stitch. But for this one, you're gonna overlay the zip a little bit. So I'm gonna show you how you're gonna overlay it. So if you turn it right side out, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the zipper, put it right in between them, take the fabric and overlay it over the zip ever so slightly, and then just sew it down on the edge. This will help hide the zipper a little bit, but it will still be functioning. So it will look kind of like this. That was so confusing, what the hell? I'm not very good at explaining, okay? I'll have like a Google Docs or like a instructions like written down in the description box, because wow, I made that so confusing. I am so sorry. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I'm gonna show you how to do that now. Fix the length of the skirt. What I'm gonna do is mark from the edge of where my waistband is to the edge of the bottom of the skirt. I'm gonna make a line, same on the other side. And with pins, I'm gonna attach the both lines together to meet at the point we marked with the zipper. And then once those are matched, I'm just gonna do a straight stitch across. And now with all of this excess fabric, I'm gonna fold it back and then hem the edge up until the point that we just sewn down. Oh my goodness, we're nearly done, we're nearly done. Now you should have something that looks like this. So your waistband should be folded and you should have a little opening like this with the zip. The key part you need to look out for, the two parts of the zipper. So this little metal part is where the zipper finishes. You also see these two pieces that are hanging over the zipper. So what you're gonna want to do is make sure the metal part goes below the fabric so it's not showing. And when you sew down the top part of the zipper, you fold these pieces over, you'll be left with something like this. This will just make sure that it looks a little bit more professional and neat. Then once the zipper is sewn, we're going to sew down the waistband and then we're all done.
Darling, you send me, I know you send me. Darling, you send me, I know you send me. Darling, you send me.
And that, my friends, is the finished product.
Not gonna lie,
I quite like it. It's quite cool. I'm not gonna lie, even though it's cute as hell. Definitely not my style though, but I think that's just because I hate skirts. But I think this turned out hella cool, hella cute. And because of the fact that I don't like wearing skirts, I will be selling this on my Vinted. So hopefully by the time I post this, it's not gonna be sold out. But if it's not sold out, I'll link it in the description. The only downfall to this though is one, I made the waistband actually too big. I made my measurement when I was bloated, like literally straight after I ate, so it added on a couple of inches. But also another thing, my zipper was way too short because it was an absolute pain to put that skirt on. So in that case, it was actually better that the waistband was slightly bigger. But if I could change anything, is get a longer zipper. But that is it. As always, I'm not gonna force you to like and subscribe. You do what you want. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah,